Hi guys, welcome back to ASX Market Watch. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's really great to have you checking out the markets. It's a fantastic way to spend a couple of minutes on your weekend and just see what we might be expecting for the next week or what's happened around the world from a chartist's point of view. A great way to supplement your current way of trading or investing, and whichever way you use, it's always a great way to just check out the charts and see where the charts around the world are heading. Because we believe that 3 out of 4 stocks might follow the overall market, just as one of the market wizards believed, William O'Neill. So let's jump straight into it, guys. As I said, we look at all around the world, all ordinaries down under. We look at the Dow Jones in America. We look at the FTSE in Europe, and we're looking at the Shanghai Composite in China as well, just because we want to check out what China is doing. A little bit of a turnaround in China. Fantastic news there from a chartist point of view anyway. And they tend to, the chart in China tends to forecast, or it tends to sort of be ahead of the game, which is always a good thing. Now, first of all, down under Australia, guys, and just quickly, it may not be as exciting, but what I wanted to say is that the boredom has continued. I said last week that it's a little bit boring, but these are the best times to be in the market because it means it's just a solid trend that's sort of evolving. The market is heading up. It's not ridiculously volatile, and you know, really, these are the best times to be in the market. They're the most boring times, but also you'll find that the most times that the green is coming into the bank account, which is really, really good, especially if you're following the trend. So that's exactly what I'm going to just talk about quickly. What we've got, as you can see, we've got our uptrend line here. Really, really ridiculously simple way of trading. Works like a charm. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little bounces off that trend line. It acts as support in the future for our prices as well. It's just a beautiful little tool. Very understated, the trend line. One of my favorite things, and anyone can do it as well. You don't need any fancy indicators. As you can see, the market is well above that trend line at the moment. And you know what? We're going to have a few down days. We're going to have a few sideways days. We're going to have a few up days. It doesn't really matter. You know, so long as it sort of holds above that trend line, it's happy days. One thing that we do want to look out for on the All Ordinaries down under is this level here at 5,000. All that is like 5,000 is a round number. It's also one of our Gann retracement numbers. If I just really quickly do a retracement of the bear market, guys, 50% is around that 5,000 level. So 50% is one of the strongest resistance levels. Now, as you can see, it's at a previous all-time high as well, a previous 52-week high, sorry, I should say. It's basically has not been able to trade above that over the last 2 years. So what does that mean for us? Well, as we've seen in other markets around the world, all it means is that potentially what we're going to see is a little bit of consolidation around this area. Now, what we might be looking at is consolidation that takes us below these trend lines. So, yes, absolutely, it could. My trends will not work, but basically, it should sort of could consolidate around this level. In this level, around the 5,000 mark, but still above the long-term trend line. And so long as it stays above 4,800, we can expect that it's just consolidating for a next up move. Now, in the meantime, obviously, it just pays to stay with the trend because obviously, as we believe that 3 out of 4 stocks might be following the overall market, it just pays to be on that same side. So really, not rocket science, guys. Got a bit of resistance here. Expect a bit of consolidation. If we don't get it, obviously, we've still got the trend line, which is giving us support. Exactly. So really ridiculously simple. The Dow Jones in America, guys, and again, really, really easy. All we're doing is just looking at the trend, and we have been looking at the trend since approximately August to September 2010 when we called this move initially, and that's exactly what's been happening. The market has just been trending upwards since then. We did also, as you'll see here, we got the consolidation around the previous highs. There's that little, it sort of came up, through it, down below it, around it, sideways, here, there, and everywhere, and then eventually took off again with a nice, see this single bar here, starts very low, ends very high. That's a very powerful bar, and it's usually, especially if it's a very long bar, usually indicates that the market is ready to move again. We actually called it on that exact day, and shablam, then the market has headed up from there. So happy days, no dramas whatsoever. What we're looking for a reversal is just to sort of go below that trend line and make a lower peak and a lower trough. Not rocket science, guys. Follow that trend current definitely. And you know what? There will be times, as I said, where you will be tempted with, the market will try and shake you out. But that's why we sort of give ourselves a bit of leeway there. There's a lot of support in the market there at the moment. And also that previous high, which was resistance, as we see the consolidation there, that will now also become support. So because resistance, when it's crossed, tends to become support. Exactly. How good is that? It's too good. And it's boring as well, isn't it? I mean, it's really boring, but it's so good at the same time because, the market is just trending up so beautifully. It's like just poetry. The next one is the FTSE, and the FTSE is pretty much exactly the same, guys. As we've said, the markets, these markets, they're together. They sort of work together. The world markets are connected more than we know. And as we can see, here's our uptrend on the FTSE. What have we got as well? If we just have a quick look, here's the previous high. And what did we get? Consolidation. In fact, we've got a bit of a bounce off. Consolidation for there. And now what's happened here? The market has come back and it's found support at the previous high. Exactly. So that just tells you that previous resistance will, when it's crossed, will become support. Now this single bar here, obviously very powerful bar, starts in the middle, ends high, goes down throughout the day. That's a good sign. It indicates buyers. But again, we'll just follow the trend, guys. So the trend at this stage is remaining up. I think our target for the FTSE, like the larger end target, is around 6,300. It's met all of our initial targets, and now we're just watching that trend. So just keeping an eye on that trend, waiting for it to end, and when it does, we'll be ready. Last but not least, guys, is the Shanghai Composite, which is probably the most interesting of the bunch. The reason why I say that, this is a daily chart where each of these single bars equals 1 day, as with the other charts as well. And there we go here. As you can see, it's crossed it, and it's also made a little it's made a little sort of zigzag pattern up. So what that would indicate is that it has crossed that trend line, which indicates that the trend has changed, but also it's made a higher trough, which indicates that buyers have continued to support that move. So really, if you want the reasons behind it, those are the reasons. You could probably put any reason. It really doesn't matter. I mean, so long as the price is moving in that direction, that's all I particularly look for anyway. The price really tends to tell us exactly what's going on in the market. And that's the Shanghai Composite. So it's made a short-term entry signal, basically. Just as a caveat there, guys, really quickly, as you can see, still a medium-term, if I could get that to work properly. Yep, there we go. Still a medium-term resistance. So basically in a medium-term downtrend still, but on a short-term uptrend. And you've got to start somewhere, hey? So that's all we've got to look for. Too easy, guys. As I said, I mean, ridiculously simple. Follow those trends. Have a happy day. Keep trending in the markets. And, just like follow the path of least resistance. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. Anyone can do it. And it's good stuff. Guys, I will see you next week for more ASX Market Watch. Have a fantastic week trending. And I will see you then. Bye for now.